Recent revelations surrounding Justice Thomas and his wife's involvement in the events of January 6th have finally brought attention that those standards we try to uphold during the confirmation process quickly disappear upon confirmation. Now, this isn't some new phenomenon. We've seen justices, both liberal and conservative, promote political fundraisers, speak at partisan events, fail to recuse themselves from cases with pretty clear conflicts of interest. And if the past is prologue, the recent incident that has gained a lot of attention regarding Justice Thomas's family, it won't be the last. Now, I first introduced a bill that would require the Supreme Court to adopt a code of ethics 10 years ago. And I've reintroduced a version of that bill in every Congress since. The majority of Americans agree with me. There's absolutely no reason why the Supreme Court shouldn't be subject to a code of conduct just like every other federal judge. But the court disagrees. John Roberts said in 2011, when he was asked about this, that, quote, the court has no reason to adopt a code of conduct as its definitive source of ethical guidance, unquote. Well, it has a reason now. And to be clear, I'm not talking about a code of conduct that's written by Congress. Instead, my legislation would require the Judicial Conference to create a binding code of conduct that applies to all federal judges and justices, including those on the Supreme Court. It's a simple step that would improve transparency, enforce accountability, and restore some lost faith in the institution. And frankly, because of that diminishing faith, it's in the court's interest to do everything possible to try to help rebuild public confidence. During Justice Kavanaugh's confirmation process, Justice Kagan put it best. She said, the court's strength as an institution of American governance depends on people believing it has a certain kind of legitimacy, on people believing it's not simply an extension of politics, that its decision-making has a kind of integrity to it. If people don't believe that, they have no reason to accept what the court does. Justice Kagan said it well. And right now, that belief is teetering dangerously close to the edge. The spouse of a Supreme Court justice was involved in an effort to organize a coup, an overthrow of a democratically elected president of the United States. That is extraordinary. That is not normal. It should not be treated as just another flavor of legitimate political action. And the fact that there is no clear binding code of conduct that addresses this kind of behavior and no clear standards of recusal for Supreme Court justices that the American people can see and trust is just unacceptable. I think that my Democratic and Republican colleagues can agree on this. The American people deserve to know that our Supreme Court justices are being held to the highest standards, whether they be justices appointed by Democratic presidents or justices appointed by Republican presidents. It's not enough for us to just trust the court any longer to self-enforce a secret internal code of ethics. The highest court in the land cannot be exempt from the standards that we hold every other federal judge to. I'm glad that this piece of legislation has gained additional co-sponsors just over the course of the last week. I hope that it eventually becomes a bipartisan piece of legislation, and I'd urge my colleagues to join me in holding the court to account.